Hello, welcome to another episode of the Knowing Angels Journal. I'm gonna come up with my own little jig and I'm gonna sing it every time, and you're gonna be like, oh my god, make her stop. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome. My name is Lisa Gober. I've been a psychic medium for over 30 years. I've been talking with angels and working with them my entire life, and I consider myself a bit of an angel expert, if I don't say so myself, which I just did. So today we're talking about a really fun topic, manifesting with angels. I think I used to have a course that was called Manifesting with Angels. I don't have it anymore, but I used to have an actual course because it's fun. If you know anything about manifesting, it's kind of fun. You're going to learn today. And working with the angels, talking about them, is like the best thing ever. So this is a fun one. I hope you sit back and enjoy it and take notes and just just have fun. Let's dive right in. I got the natural light on me. I think it looks great. Yeah, let's dive in. So what's manifesting? So law of attraction, manifesting. Let's get into science a little bit first. What is it? So if you think of everything, including headphones, me, the chair I'm sitting in, my bamboo plant, you think of anything and everything, all of us, the world, stuff, when we're broken down, this is science, when we're broken down, we're these little particles that vibrate really fast. So you put a whole bunch of those together, vibrating really fast, and that's why we appear solid. We're not really solid though. We're just little particles vibrating really fast. So what's that? That's energy, right? That vibrates really fast. That's energy. What does that mean? That means we're all made out of energy. So we're just vibrating really fast, but we're all basically these little particles. We're all energy. We're all the same. We are. We really are. Despite our appearances. Excuse me while I take a drink. You guys know I get thirsty when I start talking. So we're all just energy. We're all the same kind of energy. And like attracts like. Like attracts like. So we're all this energy, and we attract things we like attracts like. So when we're vibrating at a certain frequency, because there are different frequencies, there's different frequencies of light, of sound, and of us, of our energy vibrating. When we're at a certain frequency, we're attracting things, good or bad. Good or bad, doesn't matter. So here's the thing. You're always manifesting whether you realize it or not. Always. So if you want a partner, let's say you're manifesting love, and you want someone, a partner, and you're constantly thinking, I don't know if I'm good enough. I always meet crappy people. You're manifesting that. You're attracting that to you. You're attracting that you're not good enough, and you're attracting that you're crappy people to date. But if you're like, this is the person I'm gonna attract, and you can make a list. You can be detailed. I did, and it worked out beautifully. I did. I made a list, and a year later, boom, there he was. But I had to let it go too. That's like a whole nother thing. We'll talk. I should do another class just on that, and I will. But I'm getting off topic, and I'm confusing you, and I'm confusing myself. So manifesting is like attract likes, right? Law of attraction. And here's the perfect example is if you break an egg, like into a bowl or something, you're going to make eggs, and then the part of the shell goes in, and you're like, son of a monkey, and you're trying to dig it out with a spoon. It's like moving all around in the egg. if you put, if you have the bigger part of the eggshell, or just any part of the eggshell left, the one that did not fall in, you put it in there next to that piece, it's like, boom, it's like a magnet. You can scoop it out easy. I've done it a million times. In fact, I still do it because when the egg piece goes in there, I don't want that in my scrambled eggs, so I use it attracts it, scoop it out. Try it. Like attracts like. There's your proof. So proof is in not the pudding, it's in the eggs. So if you're thinking negative, you're attracting negative. thinking positive and you're vibrating positive, you're attracting positive. That's why when we get into funks, especially negative ones, especially sad, angry, it's good to kind of recognize it as it's not really real. It's just a human emotion. We can move through it and let it go and move forward at a higher vibration because we don't want to attract more of that. That's not fun. I did that for 25 years. It was terrible. I was homeless. I was in a hospital. A lot of bad things happened. So we were not going there, but it's true. Once you turn that, recognize it as a learning lesson, whatever stuff you're afraid of, you need to let go of. You let it go. You move forward, and you're so much lighter, and you recognize that you can create a positive, amazing life. I have. I'm the example of this, okay? From homeless to a beautiful home, to from single to the man I actually manifested. I manifested him. Like I literally wrote down what I wanted. A year later, there he was. That's exactly the guy I wrote down. And I have an amazing life. Yeah, I struggle with disabilities and stuff, but I mean, we're human. We're here having a human experience. So there's always going to be something because we're here having a human experience. That's what we're supposed to have. And it's another lesson. And my lessons is my lessons, right? And I recognize that. That's cool. It's all right. I got this. So, angels, you've watched previous videos. I know you have because you were attracted to the Knowing Angels channel and you want to know about angels. So, you know about angels already. I don't have to explain them to you. How do we manifest with them? Well, angels and manifestations go hand in hand. Because you think about angels, when you ask them for help, and you have to ask, there's your reminder, you always have to ask. You need to have faith and trust because you need to know that they're doing it. If you call and ask your mom or your Uncle Bob or whoever, can I borrow $50? And they're like, sure, I'll zell it over, or I'll cash app it over. And you hang up and you're like, they're not going to do it. I don't believe they're going to do it. They're not going to do it. If they heard you, if they picked up on that vibration, they might be like, you know what? Yeah, I'm not going to send it. You're creating that happening. And if you know your Uncle Bob or whoever is always good to lend you $50, you're like, okay, get a phone. Boom, it's there. Like, it's going to happen because you know your Uncle Bob's going to do it. And you have no doubts, right? You have total faith. So that's the same as manifesting. Manifesting is the same thing. You have, you want something, you desire something. I desire to be healthier. I desire a relationship. I desire more money. I desire people to get a lot out of this YouTube video and to maybe comment on it or like it. Okay, yeah, I can't wait. Leave me alone. You put that out there and you have total faith that it's going to happen because why not? You know what's going to happen. The universe, God, angels are going to take care of it. So you put it out there and you let it go and you just know and you trust in the timing and you forget about it and you trust in the how. That's not your responsibility. The how is not your responsibility. So you just know it's done. It's done. I call it my universe Uncle Bob, and I asked for it and done. The more you practice, the better you get at it. The more you realize, wow, this is so real, and the faster things come because you have total confidence. Before we get into how we work with angels with manifestation, real quick, I'll tell you a story. When I started believing in all this many eons ago, despite, still for me about to go through a lot of tragic stuff. I am just tongue-tied this morning. I apologize. My friend introduced me to a book called Conversations with God, which is not like a manifestation book, but it's an amazing book. Changed my life. It really did, even though I still had a lot of lessons to go through. It really changed my life. And I started focusing on, when I was driving, I would focus on the light will be green. Light will be green. Like, I didn't think I'll never hit a red light because that's a negative. Never is a negative. You always got to think positive. So I thought I will always hit a green light. Guess what? I always hit green light. I always had green lights. I didn't have to slow down even. I didn't have to stop. When I was going somewhere, I always had green lights. Once in a while, you get a red light or an ambulance. Just stuff that, it's totally, out maybe out of your control or out of the universe is like, this is great or need or whatever. But I always had a green light. It worked. It was great. Um, and it was, you felt like, wow, I can manifest this. What else can I manifest? So let's go back to manifesting with angels. Well, how does that work? Well, I think the difference is from just manifesting. Is you're working with manifesting, you're working with the universe, which is a totally neutral energy. You think of it as the Force in Star Wars. Same kind of thing. It flows through us, it binds us, it connects us. We can use it to elevate spaceships out of bogs, which we could if we really believed it. If you really believed you could work with the universe and what is that called? Like, yeah, I'm a psychic and I can't remember what it's called when you can move stuff and bring stuff to you. We could. This is technically all stuff that we could really do, but we have to believe it, and that's I think for the most part of us, we're a long way from believing we could actually do these things. But trust me, there are at least a handful of people out there that can do this and can put their hands through walls and stuff like that seems totally unreal. There are people out there that can do it. I know, crazy, right? It's weird, but it's true. Because they believe, because they know. They know they can do it, and they have total faith that there's no reason they can't do it. They just know they can do it, and they do it. So, but that's manifesting. You're working with just this universal thing, and you can't really see it. You know, it's just this energy. But when you work with angels, I think it's easier to believe in angels as real, as something more tangible. Does that make sense? So when we're manifesting with angels, we're asking the angels to help us do this. So, angels, please help me get a new car. This is what I want. I wrote it down. You can put a time on it if you want, but you really just need to trust that it's going to happen, even if it takes a year or more or less. You just know it's done. This is the car I want. This is my dream car. Let's get it done. And the angel will be like, all right, I'm on it. And you got to trust that. You got to trust they're on it. Okay, angel, this is the person I really want to be with. Like, I don't want to date anymore, these bozos. This is the real person I'm looking for. Here's what they look like. Yes, here's what they look like. There's their height, there's their hair. It could be this or this. I want them to be tall. I want them to be short. I want them to have this type of work. Or, I want them to be silly. I want them to be a gentleman. I want her to be, a lady, but funny and not afraid to be herself, or what I mean, confident. And so you just make this list. This is what my car is. It's red. It's a SUV. I don't know what you want. It's a luxury SUV. Ooh, luxury. It's a Lexus SUV. I would imagine they have their own SUVs. I don't know. Not a car person. I don't even drive right now. But you get my drift. This is how much money I would like to manifest. So I don't care where it comes from. I want just bring, angels, if you could work with me to bring that money forward, that'd be great. And they're going to be like, okay, yeah, because that's how they kind of talk sometimes. And it's going to happen, and you have to trust and know that's going to happen. They're working on it. Part of the hardest part is letting that go. So when I wrote my list manifesting my current love of my life boyfriend, I shouldn't say current because he's forever love of my life. I made a list. And I said I'll own his own home, but close to the city. So I live close to New York City, but I'm not actually in Manhattan, thank God. So, backyard was what I wanted. He loves animals, blah, blah, blah. He does. Works hard, but, likes to travel, and he does. So I made the list, and I folded it up, and I put it like in you call it a prayer box. Please, I know she's broken. She got knocked over by a cat. but I have this box my mother had gotten me a while ago because I love angels. I know she's got a little hole in her head, but it's still awesome. And she's a box, so you could take a little piece of paper. I think I used her, and you write it down, fold it all up, and put it in your prayer box. Be your manifestation box. It can be any little box. You can make it. You can find a little cardboard box or just take some cardboard and cut up and make it into a little, tape it all around, make it a little box that you can put your manifestations. You can call them wishes or dreams in there, but wishes or dreams seem like something that will never happen. Manifestations, like, yeah, it's done. It's happening. So in this case, yeah, you ask the angels, bring them to me. They're like, yeah, got it, done. And you let it go. Oh, and my story was, so I wrote everything down. I put it in the box and I let it go and I kind of forgot about it. But the thing was, I was still like, oh, I just wish I could meet somebody. Why can't I just meet somebody? I was in the kind of pushing it away emotional state of not just allowing it to come by being in a lower vibration of I'm alone, no one wants me. I was creating that. And I was going on these dates from a dating app with all these douchebags that just want sex. It was terrible. So, or I just didn't like them. I was like, oh, why is this good? The one that likes you is the one that you don't want, right? So finally, and this is later in the year, I'm finally done. I'm so done. I'm so done. I'm letting it all go. I don't want any, I'm not dating anymore. If I have to be alone the rest of my life, I'm fine with that. I know how to get sex if I need it. Right? I'm sorry for you, though, that might be offended by that, but I know how to take care of my needs. And, I'm just going to go about my life. And I was like, a month after that, and I stopped dating, but I still had the app on my phone. I decided I'm going to look at it one more time. And as I looked at it, I realized I'm connected. This guy had liked me, and he was really cute. And I thought, there's no way. And he had a nice profile, really cute. And so I wrote him, and he wrote me back. And it was all just fun back and forth, getting to know you. We texted on the app for like 3 days. And then we had dinner, and the rest is history because we're still together, and he's still the most handsome man I've ever seen in my life. So that's the story. And that's how it's done. You have to let it go. And like I said, I let it go to the point where I was like, I'd rather just be alone. I didn't put out to the universe to create being alone. It was more of a, if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. Whatever. I let go and let God. And once I did that, it was like a week later that we connected. I said a month before, but it was more like a week later. Yeah. Isn't that cool? Just thinking about, that I manifested the things I've manifested in my life. And if you think about the positive things that you might have in your life, that you manifested that. Okay. So yeah, you can look at some of the crap too and say, I manifested that. Like I can easily look at the disability I have and the pain, physical pain I deal with. I know I manifested it. I know I manifested it. I even remember manifesting it back when I was in my teens, early 20s. I manifested this disability. And I remember it clearly. And it may have taken years to build up and become what it is, but here it is. So we manifest, good or bad, but we want to manifest good, mostly. And that's conscious versus unconsciously. Okay, that's you unconsciously are going into a negative state and manifesting things you probably don't want by thinking so unpositively or negatively, or thinking, hey, universe, I don't want this. They don't hear the don't. The universe doesn't understand negative. It's like, so it just hears, I want this. It doesn't hear, I don't want this. You can't focus on what you don't want. You have to focus on what you want. And you let it go. So that's how you manifest with angels. Angels, this is what I'd like. Here, well, let's do it right now. And you can write it down too. You know what? Maybe we should do that together. Ideas. I'm going to move you with me out of the pretty sunlight that we had. Because I need to grab, I know I'm wheeling around here. Woo! We're moving around. Get my brother's guitar in there. Move that out of my way. Let's get a piece of paper here. A nice pen. And you don't have to, obviously, we're on. So I just ripped it out of my journal because, yeah. All right, I'm going to write the date because it's fun to write the date because you can, when you look back, because you probably forget about the stuff you wrote it down and then you end up looking back and be like, oh my God, that was 2 years ago. And like, I've manifested so much since then. July 18th, I'm filming this video July 18th, 2020. I'm going to write down what I'm manifesting. I want you to write down what you're manifesting on a piece of paper. Let's do it together. So don't write, I don't want this. This is basically what you want. And you can detail it to the extent you want. Almost done. All right. So you can write at the end of it. Sometimes I like to write, and so it is. So it is. Sometimes I like to write amen, because that's the end of a prayer, right? When you pray, if you're religious at all, when you pray and you say amen, that's the same thing as so it is done. That's saying you trust God to take care of everything. It's the same wording. So, yeah, that's powerful. Amen is powerful. So we're going to take a piece of paper. I'm going to fold it up. And I'm going to tell you the next step. There is another step after this. Folded it all up. I'm going to grab that box. I'm tucking it in there. Thank you. You don't have to kiss it. Thank you, universe. Thank you, angels. Thank you. And be in some gratitude. Let's feel the gratitude. We put it out there. It's all happening. It has happened. It's done. We don't have to worry about it no more. Thank you, angels. That's something off my plate I don't have to worry about because I know it is done. It is happening. So that's let me get this off the floor. That's very exciting. Next step. There is another step. Let it go. Don't worry about it anymore. Let it go. It's done. We put the order in, right? We called and ordered the pizza. We bought it through Amazon. It even had a delivery date. Will be delivered tomorrow by 10 p.m., right? So we put the order in, 30 minutes or less for pizza, I mean, you can't worry about it. And here's the fun part. Here's the really fun part. When it doesn't look like it's going to happen. So let's say you wrote down, I need this, I need the $500 by the end of the month because rent's due and I'm scared and blah, blah, blah. And right now you're feeling relief and gratitude. It's taken care of. Thank goodness. When you start worrying, like really worrying, like true, it hasn't happened. It's not happening. What am I going to do? That's when your manifestation is at its closest. So if you start going into that and really feeling into the fear and the worry and you start pushing it away and it's not going to come. Yeah, this is fact. That you don't want that. So that's when you really dig into your faith and be like, oh, it's not happening, but I know it's happening. I know it's done. The other thing you have to do, now that we put in our order, is we have to act on divine ideas, divine, things that come to us. You want to manifest $10. Maybe you feel like you should go for a walk and you don't know why. So you go for a walk and you're like, all right, and you just kind of intuitively go for a walk for a few blocks and you find $10 on the ground. You never know. You never know what and why. This particular episode, which is getting a little long, was a divine download. I was like, I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. And then I was like, oh, what's fun? Manifesting with angels. It just kind of popped in my head, manifest. Like, oh, that's it. That's a divine download. That's a divine download. Sometimes they're scary. Sometimes they're make a YouTube video. And then people get scared. I'm not scared. I'm here. This is real. I do things that are real life that maybe people don't see as professional, but I like to keep it real because we're humans having a human experience. And I want you to know that we screw up and we're humans having a human experience. And this is how we have to work with our angels. So I hope all that makes sense. Be open to a divine idea, to talk to that person or go for a walk or take a nap or whatever it feels, if journal, whatever you feel like all of a sudden I need to do this, don't push it away, go do it. That's all part of manifesting. That's working with the universe. That's working with the angels. They're working with you. So faith, trust, it's done. I'm going to end this right here. I love you so much. I love you so much. Thank you to the new subscribers. Welcome, welcome. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment. I love comments. And share and follow. And if you want to learn more about angels, Knowing Angels Academy, it's a digital program. You get I think it's over 19 modules because I put a bunch of bonus modules in there. You also get Psychic School, which is now part of Knowing Angels Academy, which you could buy separately if you want Psychic School. But it's part of the Knowing Angels Academy. I highly recommend you do the whole thing, the whole shebang. It's a low price, and there are payment plans. If you need one, you just got to email me. It's easy. I'm laid back. I'm easy. So just email me for payment plans. I love you. See you on the next.